Now I'd like to hand over to today's moderator, Mr. Kubo.
Okay.
Yay.
Thank you. So thank you so much for the introducing agenda, Secretariat. And today we are I'd like to introduce myself. So I'm Nobuaki Kubo from Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology. So today's moderator is me. So I have worked in the field of GNSS for many years, and in terms of precise positioning software and teaching GNSS. Okay, so today, we are here to discuss about space applications in motion agriculture. So value-added foods from space to table. So we have probably 4 excellent speakers in applications as well as technology. The first 2 speakers or 3 speakers will talk about recent trends and application using GNSS and GIS. And after that, 2 speakers will talk about the technology behind these applications, how GNSS, GIS, or remote sensing contribute to applications. After speakers talk, we have 15 or 20 minutes Q&A, and please use chat in Zoom if you have any questions and comments. Okay, so let's start these sessions. So I will invite the first speaker, Mr. Akrit Unahare-Kahaga, CEO Recruit. So if you already prepared, could you start your presentation?
Yes, hello, Professor Nobuaki Kubo. Thank you. So I will start with my presentation on how space technology can be used to apply to agriculture. Okay, so I will share my screen. Okay, so my presentation will be just 5 minutes long, and we can do a Q&A after. So my name is Akrit. I'm the CEO of Recount. So we make mobile technology using satellite image and weather data to help increase the income of the farmers in developing countries. So as a start, 40% of Thai population are farmers, so roughly around 20 million people. But these farmers are actually the poorest people in the country. They make just $54 a month, and they have to, which is lower than the poverty line of Thailand. So basically 40% of the people in the country are living below the poverty line, and they are doing farming. And this is not just a Thai problem, but a global problem affecting over 500 million farmers. If you look at the problem of why farmers are poor and the farming industry is so inefficient, it is due to a lack of data and technology. First of all, farmers want affordable loan, but they cannot get a loan. But the banks actually want to provide loans to these farmers, but they don't have any data or any credit scoring to understand the risk of the farmers. Second, the farmers' productivity is very low, and they don't have direct market access. However, mills want to buy directly from the farmers, but it is very expensive to reach individual farmers. So that means there is no digital platform or data to connect farmers to mills, banks, and on the right side to the left side. And this is where the opportunity comes in. And right now we have the problem of climate change with drought, with flood, which makes the situation even worse. One thing that changed in Thailand and developing country is the access to smartphone. So our technology is using machine learning to analyze weather data, satellite data, and farming data to come up with an insight to help the farmers plan their farming. For example, in this screen of the green color, farmer can draw the farm, and we can use satellite image to analyze the condition and productivity of the farmland. So we basically made an app for the farmers to use, and also a business platform for the mills and the banks to use, access, and connect with the farmers for supply chain financing, forecasting, and risk mitigation. Our technology used by using satellite imagery, and we just use like Landsat, Sentinel, and various public source. And we look at the NDVI, RGB, NDWI, different type of algorithm that analyze the wavelength of the plant through each pixel in the satellite image. And satellite alone is not enough. We also added with like different temperature data that we get from various weather station and satellite station as well. So now farmers in Thailand can have an access through all the advanced technology like space technology, weather data through his smartphone in his hand. So this is an example of use case where we use satellite to analyze the farmland of a corn farmers. If you look at this farm, farmers can now know that by sitting at home that his crop is having problem in the red part in his farm. So he can know that he should go and spray fertilizer or put more pesticide in the field. But we also have a drone partners that farmer don't have to go to the field himself. He can press a button and a drone will fly and spray fertilizer in this specific red area so that he knows how to improve the productivity using satellite image as the start to find the problems. So we also have many weather data, which I will skip for now since we are focusing on satellite. We have also like farming guidance to help the farmers improve yield, Q&A forum like Facebook chat to help farmers connect with agronomists. And these are images of the farmers that are actually using our app right now in Thailand. We have over 300,000 farmers that adopt the technology. What I can say is that farmers, poor farmers, they are very open to new technology to help improve their income, if as long as it is easy to use and they can easily understand how it can be beneficial to them. As mentioned, we don't only make the app to help the farmers, but we also provide this software to like sugarcane company or rice mills. For example, one sugarcane company purchased 200 million US dollar worth of crop every year from sugarcane farmers. So now they use our satellite data to help monitor 30,000 farmers in his province so that we can do like different analytics like growth analytics, crop scanning, finding problems so that we can help mills hedge the price of sugarcane. We can also use satellite to find supply in the country. We also start using it for crop insurance loss verification where we can use satellite to see where the corn is growing well. If there's a loss in this brown color, we can also use satellite to help identify so that they don't have to send human to go in and go identify the problem. So we have already deployed this with the Ministry of Agriculture and also the Insurance Association of Thailand. So by using satellite image to scan the whole country, we have various clients from the banks to insurance to crop buyers or even energy company as our client. And we have won many different awards around the world. So that's it. To not take too much time, we are Recount and we use space technology and weather data to help improve the life of Thai farmers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was very fast, only 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so I will invite the next speaker. So unfortunately, next to Green Drive Thailand is unable to join this webinar today. And yeah, next speaker is Dr. Kitsanai. Sorry. Sharonjit?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Hi.
Thank you. So I will introduce him. So he's from Braha University. No, he belongs to Faculty of Geoinformatics, Braha University. Okay.
Yes, Burapha University.
Braha University. Okay, and the Drone Academy, and Agri Drone Sandbox will be introduced. The Agri Drone Sandbox is now unboxed and published to be used from scientific to farmer. Trendy. They're using the drone for labor spraying and plant eye scouting, come with the big data in the same time. Thus, the drone is started in the real agri business. Okay, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Nobuki. Okay, today I would like to presentation for AgriDrone and Sandbox in Thailand. Okay, for sharing my experience. My name is Kitsanai Jalanjit. I am a dean of Faculty of Geoinformatics, Burapha University, Eastern of Thailand. Okay, so now the trend and the challenging of the drone for the industrial drone. Right now, in the past of the agriculture drone is famous and public to use from the scientific to the farmer, local farmer. Right now, about more than 90%, they're using a drone. It's like a multi-rotor platform for spraying and scouting for the crop, and then for the fixed wing, less than 3 or 4% for about the mapping only. But for the improved productivity, planting health, and also the labor is like a spraying. In the present, in Spain, Brazil is like the sugar cane, also the North America is like the bigger crop. They're using a drone. It's like the labor autonomous for spraying, also the scouting. This is the state of the art in the precision agriculture. So now, for the first step, we are planning the drone for the mapping and using the multispectral camera, the red, green, blue camera, and also the 3D information. And then to the capture, they capture the camera from the air and compare with the ground. It's like the scouting in the ground. And then they generate the index. It's like a vegetation index. It's like the close range remote sensing for predict the health of the plant. And then they're using the geospatial information to the tractor. It's like a spraying drone and like the ground the tractor. And then to be generated the big geospatial data in the precision agriculture. This is the role of the information side in agriculture. But right now, every farmer in Thailand, they use the equipment like a drone and use the automatic report like the planting sign generated in the farm. I call the farm management information system because sometimes if you're using the drone, in the trendy of the drone can making the advance and the ad hoc the situation. It's like a data on demand, different the satellite. The number step create a quick mapping and using the NDVI map for in the field, and second match the NDVI with the ground of observation, and then making the index between link the air data and the ground data, and then spraying in the poor vegetation into the tractor, also the drone for the spraying. In the trend, right now the aircraft of the drone in the lab published to in the field, they're using the multi-rotor. The multi-rotor is like the famous use in the farming, but the multi-rotor needs to be fixed by the wetting and the time to flying, and then also the scouting, also equip the spraying together. And then another way they're using the fixed wing mapping the only, and right now in the for the multi-rotor combined with the fixed wing, it's like instead for the flying time and need to be using the scouting only. For the camera or the sensor, now the sensor can be found in the market, like the multispectral, red, green, blue, infrared, and near infrared, and also the red edge. And then use a specification for the hyperspectral. It's very expensive right now. And then using the thermal and using the 3D 3600 for the about multi-view. These are the training of the equipment in you can find in the market, and you can find in the China market from the Shenzhen, maybe 500 the company in China for making a drone and the sensor. And another way, if you use it's like the upstream for using the drone for the capture the data between the drone and the satellite, and you can using the data. It's like the AGRI data is the biggest technology. You can use the automatic report. This is the example from the Pic4D, and it's like the recount previous presentation, and you can use the scientific, and you can use the vegetation index, and you can translate into the action plan. It's like you use the map for the poor health, and you can use this location to spraying by the drone neighbor or something like that. This you don't training too much. You can come with overcome with the sandbox. It's like the real commercial in Thailand right now. And for the conclusion, I conclude about if you're using the drone in Thailand trendy, you can use key outstanding large scale analysis, rapid and more accuracy, robustness. You can boost the yield, net profit, and by optimize fertilizer, feed chemical, and also the you can use reliability platform with no hidden cost. You can it's like a scientific data for to the farmer right now, and the precision farming is like the role of big data. Right now you can use application is crop variable data, fertilizer, protection, bud skill, yield estimation, crop history database. Okay, right now for my academic, I put everything from the sandbox into the curriculum course in the bachelor degree right now. For Burapha University, we produce a student around 100 students per year for like using the drone in the agriculture plantation. Okay. Thank you. This our experience from scientific.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for presentation, Dr. Ketu Sanai. Yes. So for all of you, so if you have any questions, please use the chat. Please use chat. Even from panelists. Yeah, please use the chat if you have any question and comments. Okay, so I would like to invite next speaker. Next speaker is Dr. Pakon Pechi-Prayum from Geoinformatics and Space Technology Development Agency. So Dr. Pakon will present agriculture systematic monitoring, the dramatic progress of space technology, remote sensors, direct measurement, and the communication facilities allow collection of huge amounts of crucial agricultural data. This data can be made available in real time and at various scales, ranging from local to global in nearly unlimited quantities. This transformed the way of how agriculture is managed. The Earth observing satellite and ground sensors gather useful information on crop growth and physical factors such as humidity, temperature, and atmospheric conditions, as well as natural disasters. This information, together with geoinformatics technology, makes it possible to analyze and support the field of agriculture, both in regular conditions as well as under critical situations. So Dr. Pakon, so could you start your presentation?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Professor Nobuki, for introducing me. And I'm glad to be here to share some of my work and my experience regarding to remote sensing in the field of agriculture. So from now, I try to use the presentation mode. But it's kind of a little bit delayed, but I will keep talking and share some of my experience. So during work on my PC, so now it's working. Okay, I will spend about 10 minutes from talking about remote sensing and agriculture, and also will include some of the natural disaster including flood and drought disaster that affect on the agricultural activity in Thailand. So in my office, Chita have been working in remote sensing and GIS for the crop monitoring and crop estimation to support the policy making for the government and local organization in the various field of agriculture. So, but as you already know that our office, Chita, which is the focal point of remote sensing and spatial technology in Thailand, we are expert, quite experts in remote sensing and remote sensing applications, space application. But for agriculture, so we need partners. So that's why we cooperate with the many departments in the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperative. So we need to cooperate with them to learn about the phenomena and knowledge of agriculture, crop phenology, and anything that can fulfill the knowledge of agriculture and remote sensing application. So that's why Chita not working alone. We're working with our partner to understand about the agriculture activity and also try to support the work of government and the local partner. So we use both passive and active sensor remote sensing satellite to monitor the crop, economic crop. Four types of economic crop include rice, cassava, paddy, rice, cassava, corn, and sugarcane. We update this data for the whole country every week, but we publish on the website every 2 weeks or bi-weekly. We use the optical image from Moody's, Landsat both 7 and Landsat 8, Sentinel-2, and of course, TEOS Thai satellite to monitor during the dry season. But for the rainy season, which is the very peak activity of agriculture activity, during the rainy season, we cannot use the optical data. So because of a lot of cloud cover in our country, where we live in the monsoon country, so we have to use the SAR data or the microwave data from the radar set and Sentinel-1 in order to overcome the cloud cover, in order to get the information under the cloud cover. So we can get the data from satellite image, both passive and active sensor, both together, and we work with the data fusion and then public on the website. When you see this animation, you will see this is show you the paddy field area in Thailand in the different states. The cooler image, I mean green color or dark green color, indicate the younger age of the paddy field. The red color area means that the area is ready for the cultivate. So you will see the different state, different condition, and different area in the rice field activity in Thailand. So with this information, we can support the manage, or we can support the government to manage the agriculture policy, like a cultivate or the economic policy or the market policy for the government. And also we do the thing like this for corn, sugarcane, and cassava at the same manner. And we publish every 2 weeks. And also we have some partner to help us to validate the data, to validate the result that we make the yield monitoring. So our partner from for example, from the university in the northern part, they go to the field and make some crop cutting to validate our data, calculate data from the model. This is the normal thing that we work for the kind of routine. This is for the normal situation. But in the real world, in Thailand, we live in the monsoon country. We face with very severe flooding. We face with very severe drought, very severe. serious drought. So we have to use more satellite data to monitor flood and also to evaluate the drought condition, and then make some the geospatial database in order to serve the government to overcome this disaster problem like flood and drought condition over the agriculture area. For example, we can overlay the flood area over the paddy field and then overlay with the land parcel, so we can know the effect of the flooded area to the farmland, and also we can make some policy to make some compensate to the farmer. And also for the drought is very difficult. It's totally different from flood. Drought is slowly onset. It's slow onset. It's very difficult to observe. So we try to use remote sensing, or we try to use many vegetation index or many remote sensing index, try to indicate the drought phenomena. Because if we can detect the regional drought early before they develop to the disaster, so we can help help the government to prevent the damage. And also we calculate how much water need for each crop type by calculating evapotranspiration. And also in case of the limitation of the water source, we calculate the crop water state that we can tell the government or the local partner that which area has the very crisis condition for the drought situation, and then they can help in timely. And also we set up the ground station or the water station that we can measure the physical parameter that relate to the growth or relate to the condition of the plant and tree or crop. So we use the satellite image, validate with the data from the ground station in order to make sure that our parameter that we calculate or extract from the satellite is reliable and ready to use. And then we can make the crop condition and health monitoring for the each crop type. For example, in this slide, you will see the different color of the crop condition. The green color that means the crop health, that means it's healthy crop than the normal in the past 10 years, average of past 10 years. The yellow color show you the moderate situation of the crop area. But the red color, this one is the serious. The crop gets stressed and we need to help. And then we can explain the study to explain that, okay, this area, the red area, this stress, we need to help them, and we have to find out the solution, how to rescue the damage, how to prevent the damage, and how to rescue the people, how to rescue the crop in order to prevent the damage for the farmer. So this is all of my presentation, but I have no conclusion. But I just thinking about the quote from the Socrates that he said, the man must rise above the earth to the top of the atmosphere and beyond, for the only thing that we will fully understand the world in which we live. So Socrates told this 2,000 years ago. And now we use remote sensing to follow his idea in order to understand our condition, our phenomena in the world. And also the quote from Jack, he said, man master nature not by force, but by understanding. Now we use remote sensing. We use the space technology to understand in order to survive for the rapid change of our world. We will survive by understanding. And of course, for the last quote, I said, Peter said, if you can measure it, you can manage it, and of course, you cannot improve it. So we use remote sensing to measure it. And then when we measure it, we monitor it, then we can manage it, and also we can improve it. So this is our conclusion. Thank you very much. I will finish my talk for the first round. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentations. Yeah, okay. The next, I would like to invite next speaker, Mr. Biladesh Swanakita from Siam Kubota. Siam Kubota's vision is being the ASEAN leader in agri innovations. He will present and share their digital agricultural knowledge and technology such as the applications of Genesis to their current product. They aim to deliver quality farm machinery that truly meets the needs of farmers and affords them with greater precision, convenience, and elevates the quality of life of farmers to ensure that they grow sustainably with us. Sorry. Okay, please.
Okay, thank you very much, the Professor Kubo. Okay, Sawadee krab. Okay, I am Viladesh, delegate from KRDA Siam Kubota Corporation, Thailand. Here is the agenda. I will brief you about our company overview and how GNS has been applied in agriculture. Siam Kubota Corporation was established around 1978, around 43 years ago. It is a joint venture between the Kubota Corporation Japan and the SCG Siam Cement in Thailand. We have the four business principles in the innovation of the product, service, and dealer, and leasing. And this is our product for agriculture, industrial, and drone business. The key factor to drive space to the farm. I think so many factors if we would like to drive space to the farm, which is depend on the newcomer, high value crop, food safety, tech adoption, digital farming, and circular economy. Here is how GNS has been applied in the agriculture for our Kubota product. The first, the Kubota intelligent solution that we call the KIS. The KIS is gathering the data from machine about machine location, while the GNSS processing and combination data result data to platform interface. The second one is the Kubota Agri Solution KAS. That application including the crop calendar and the income expense by combining two use of KAS application with the GNSS data such as the weather station from the register. Farmer can sustainably improve its agricultural efficiency. The first one is the Kubota drone sprayer. The Kubota drone sprayer by GNS has been applied to our in terms of the location tagging, the real-time monitoring, position and the working status. More safety can protect the farmer from pollution and heat stroke. Protection sensor while spraying. Next is a field planning. Specify the working scope. Automation system plan. The last one is the automation system plan and set fire condition. What's the next move? Here is the one of the powering the future of precision agriculture, like for crop monitoring. We think that can use the satellite and drone. The first image generated from satellite is like a macro view, but low available and unclear some perspective, such as the obstacle by the crowd. In the other hand, the image generated from the drone, like a micro view, which the high available and clear perspective because of the under the crowd. I think the most farmer owner fewer than 8 hectares of the land. There are maybe the scouting drone are suitable for that field. We think the next drone move the field monitoring more accurately spacing with the RTK GNSS network and low environment impact. The next one is we think so many kind of the GNSS can apply to the future of the agriculture. For example, in terms of the precision, the ground slope measurement, while the remote sensing satellite or scouting drone imaging, environment monitoring, while the IoT farm device, and the next one is the farm monitoring. In the crop health monitoring via the satellite or scouting drone. In terms of the machine automation, I think by increase the quality of work while automation combining with the GNSS RTK too. The next one, what's the challenging of the precision agriculture if we would like to apply the GNSS to agriculture? The key challenging is that we hope that the precision agriculture require the network infrastructure together with the GNSS together to enable its benefit for Thai farmer. But we need some facility support, like we need the wide coverage, 5G network, or accessibility of the GNSS network for farmer to replace the purchasing expensive individual RTK data that we need. Okay, here is our Kubota farm in Thailand video.
With an investment of over 145 million baht, Kubota Farm is created as a smart experience farm that addresses the application needs of farmers. The initiative has gained support from government sectors and business organizations, both domestically and internationally, in development collaboration. Kubota Farm is located on a 220 right or 35 hectares plot of land in Banwing District, Chonburi Province. It features an exhibition hall as well as 9 exhibitions.
How do you envision?
Farmers or those interested can learn from the collective model, gain hands-on practical experience, and access a complete range of tried and true innovations. The knowledge and experience gained can be applied in their farms, empowering Thai farmers to embark on smart farming. Royal Highness has bestowed the official name Kaset Chaipat to the building, presided over the opening ceremony of Kubota Farm on the 6th of August 2020. Kubota Farm is committed to transferring knowledge and developing the farm into a top resource for learning opportunities about agricultural solutions and machinery solutions into highly efficient precision agriculture. Added to this is the commitment to fully utilize land use to ensure optimized return and a certain sustainable income. By using Kubota Agri-Solutions, KAS, Kubota's unique offerings are designed to become a model of enhancing agriculture efficiency, reduce costs and expenses, and elevate income for farmers by agricultural solutions and machinery solutions incorporated with advanced IoT technologies. Kubota also supports precision agriculture based on the use of modern technologies in combination with Kubota Intelligence Solutions to promote modern agricultural development, propelling the Thai agricultural sector into the forefront of global agribusiness.
Okay, that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so it's time for the Q&A. And yeah, actually, the second speaker has to go back to his work. And we have currently 3 questions, and 1 question has been already answered by second speakers, Dr. Kittu Sanai. And okay, I will introduce these questions. The first question: have you also analyzed the spray droplet and optimal spraying technology or biocontrol? And Dr. Kittu Sanai already answered. I did not yet for spraying deep analytics, but I will try to it soon. Okay. And next question is probably to the Dr. Akrit-san. Okay. So do you track users of the platform?
Yes.
Yeah. If so, who can access the data?
Yes. So in Thailand we have this personal data privacy law, PDPA law, which is very strict. So the user actually have the owner of the data, but if you want to provide it to our partners like banks or insurance company, we will have to ask for the permission first. It will be like a consent form that they have to click.
Okay. Okay, I understand. Probably the questioner will also understand. And yeah, the second question is maybe I can skip because the certificate of attendance. Yeah, okay. The third question is to the yeah, Mr. Biradesh. Biradesh, are you here? Mr.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes. How do you envision this kind of technology could be accessible and affordable for the average Thai farmer?
I think for the kind of the technology, normally we introduce together with our machinery in Thai. That means like for the KISS, KIS, that we install the KISS to our tractor, combine harvester, and the excavator also. That means we can know and the customer can know their machine performance like a location tracking. That's good for us, like for service.
Okay.
Like the machine, the close to the maintenance period. Our service can know it, and we notification to the farmer can immediately to go to maintenance for them.
Okay. So the affordable for the average Thai farmer, what do you think? Maybe cost?
Maybe cost, yes.
So do you think is it practical in average for average Thai farmer? Your system, yeah.
I think around 10 or 30% of the customer would like to change to the technology. But some of the farmer needs more investment because of right now almost the technology too expensive. We need to many kind of the explanation how to, or maybe sometimes we like show like a for free application for them too.
Okay, thank you for your answers. And next question is to Dr. Pakon from Gista. So some participants are interested in users. Who is the users of Gista platform?
Okay. So it's very interesting question. Thank you for the question. Right now, the user for our platform, our solution mostly from the government agencies.
Mhm.
So for the policy panel, for the policy level, but we try to explain, or we try to reach our data to the farmer, but it's quite a little bit difficult. So, but the private sector, like a big company, they also use our data. So, but for the individual farmer right now, I think no, but we try to reach them.
Okay.
So this is our big challenge.
Okay, thank you for your very concrete answers. Yeah, thank you. So it's done. And next question is to maybe probably Mr. Biradesh. So do we have to analyze NPK values and soil moisture mapping using satellites? Sorry, this is not for Biradesh. NPK values and soil moisture mapping using satellite.
Actually, not maybe I think I cannot answer it, but very interesting question for me too, because of right now Kubota also interest the can the satellite or the drone analyze the NPK directly automatically to the platform or something like that. That is really interesting for us to use. But now we try to find that sensor, that automatic feature for the satellite. I think it still cannot do it. Just only like an individual, the handable sensor only that can know the NPK or something like that.
So sorry, I am not familiar with NPK. What is short of?
Nitrate, phosphorus, and potassium. Yes. In the soil.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your answers. And anyone can answer to these questions, other speakers?
Yes, I would like to add up
Thank you.
Add up for the answer for this question.
Yeah.
So for the satellite image right now for the functional satellite. So right now we cannot access the NPK directly from the satellite signal or satellite image. But in the near future, when we use the hyperspectrum or ultra spectrum satellite image, which is now on the research sector, not on the functional. I think in the near future, we can evaluate the value of the NPK. So this is one of the challenge for the remote sensing technology. And also they have some of the some limitation that we have to overcome it, including the signal attenuation and also the cloud cover and also the thing that cover the soil. For example, plant or weed or the thing that we cannot directly send from the satellite to the soil. This is the most important one. What we have to think and then we try to overcome it. For the conclusion of my answer, I think for the near future, we can evaluate, analyze NPK from the satellite. So please wait.
Oh, big question. Thank you. Thank you for your answers and question also. Thank you. And the last question is, how do we analyze data from multispectral camera loaded in a drone? Does it involve loaded analysis system in the drone or user applications? How do we analyze data from multispectral camera loaded in a drone? How do we analyze? To maybe second speaker? Or are there anyone can answer to questions? Mr. Biradesh?
Okay.
Can you answer?
That is one of our interesting point, and we try to make analysis model. The first, after the drone flying and caption the picture, then we send to the some like that the second presentation to the pic 4D to the connect the each photo to become the one big the picture, and then we send to the analytic model. The analytic model, how to make it like we need to make like a AI model, machine learning model, like if you would like to investigate about the sugar cane growing up, we need to measure the crowd data like diameter of the sugar cane, the how high, how many leaves, about the or something like that. Then we need to set up or create some calculation formula on the model. It means after that we need to learning the machine together, maybe several crop, 1 year, 2 year, to know to like teach the machine, teach the platform, they know, and then they can forecast it. This is one of our interesting technology also, and Kubota also interesting to study it too on process to our side too. That is the lovely image, the explanation. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for your answers. And yeah, so we have finished all questions, and I have one questions to. Sorry again, Mr. Viradesh. So you mentioned about RTK for drone or other, autonomous machine control. And do you think is RTK is already popular in Thailand?
Not popular because the individual very expensive.
Oh, very expensive individual.
Yes.
Which means it is not so available.
Not so available. Yes, too expensive. The like a farmer in Thai, not so rich man, they cannot buy.
Oh, really?
So yes, it's difficult to buy it. But I think if the individual RTK is more cheaper than this, I think it's maybe useful in Thai. Or that the last page of my presentation before the video of the Kubota farm. That's an explanation. If the government or the Agista or something like that give the core system, network system, or the military or something like that in Thai, they give the accessible for the farmer like a public or the fee or something like that. I think that is the very helpful, very useful for our Thai farmer.
Okay. Thank you for your suggestions and opinion. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. So yeah, actually, it's time to finish. 4 minutes left, and I would like to thank you for all of you, and especially panelists, speakers, 5 speakers, and thank you so much for taking time for in spite of your very busy time. Yeah. And I'd like to move on to the final introduction by Office Secretariat. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Mr. Kubo, and all our wonderful guests for the great presentation and the QA session. At the last, I'd like to give you some announcement about coming event. First of all, I'd like to introduce you about S-Booster. S-Booster is a space-based business idea contest hosted by the Cabinet Office of Japan. Additional value of this contest is the support to finalists by providing monitoring program to brush up their business ideas. Applications open to Asia and Oceania region. At the final round, presentations are held in front of investors, large companies, and etc. to promote business matching. So let's see a promotion video about S Booster for 1 minute.
Put the most advanced space technology into your hands. Apply satellite data. We can help realize your dream. You can polish your business ideas together with experts who will provide the strong backup you need for success.
考えられてないコストがあるのかもしれないですね、そこは。
S Booster is hosted by the Cabinet Office of Japan with the support of JAXA and others. Startups from Japan, Asia, and Oceania compete against each other. You can be the next winner. Space is no longer far away. Draw closer to and pioneer a new business area.
宇宙と今まであまり接点がなかった分野の方々がどんどんと宇宙産業に入ってきてほしいですね。
S Booster will accelerate the realization of your dream.
Okay, this is the end of the video. Okay, if you want additional information, we have detailed promotion video on the website, so please check it as well. Okay, and we have 2 types of application team. The first is business idea for utilizing space asset in collaboration with Japan. Example are collaboration with Japanese companies or utilization of Japanese space assets. Another theme is business idea of the theme by sponsors. Entry of business idea is scheduled in this spring. The qualifying is conducted in Japan and Asia round, respectively. The final round will be held in December. Method to participate will be online for some contestants because of the COVID-19. You can get detailed information on the website, which is being prepared step by step. So it's all about S Booster. And as I announced at the beginning, this is the series of the webinar event. And we will have the last webinar event in 2 weeks. And you can check more information from the MGA or S Booster website.